What's up, gamers? Barnes here. Today we're going to talk about the Fizzle. Um, our last game session, I had presented to the players that I wasn't really feeling Rise of the Rune Lords anymore, and so I said let's vote on it. And I said I'll happily jam it and have a good time with it, no problem. And then let's talk about the vote.
Well, you got unanimously outvoted.
I got unanimously outvoted, and which kind of came to me as a shock. Like I thought we were gonna play that night, that session, but
Dangled the carrot.
yeah, I had asked the players if they wanted to play in a former homebrew world of mine called the Aeluqygwen, and they were like, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Um, but we're gonna talk a little bit about the campaign that shorted out and why it shorted out. Um, why do you feel like?
I felt like there was too many dungeon crawls, and the party felt that way too. But also, I think that since everyone in the party died a lot, I think that also kind of made it like no one got attached to their own characters. Really, they were disposable, like flowing through, and it looked like it was going to be more of the same.
I
It
got
looked
you.
like it was going to be more dungeon crawling, sifting through little details of. I mean, it was fun at the time, but
10 by 10 rooms.
10 by 10 rooms, fighting in hallways constantly. I mean,
No, I had played the module raw. I just played it as written, and there was several character devs, several PC devs, um, which is a little bit more than my normal campaigns. Um, which maybe I'm not being harsh enough normally. I don't know when I write my stuff. Um, also, like it was a little bit, it was a different experience for me running a published module. I haven't done so in so long. Um, Last time I did so, I wasn't even playing D&D right. I was a teenager, and we were mixing. They had like a Frankenstein D&D compilation game of probably like 3 different D&D games, um, and board game stuff and whatever else third-party products we found. Um, so I felt a lot less detached from responsibility of like it's my fault when it came to
yeah.
killing player PCs. Like I just kind of like
You
it's in
took
black and white.
on a morbid fascination and
All right,
pleasure with killing the characters.
I guess so.
You did. I can see.
One thing I do get that some of you guys are gonna find morbid out there is that when I was running the published module, I realized that every encounter is obviously at least combat encounter is weighed for the PCs to win. And in our group, um, I'm pretty much the best at the board game aspect of the game. Kris is our best role player. He usually gets the role playing award most often in the group. Um, there's no award for being the good tabletop player. um,
Well, there is. I mean, you're doing this well.
well, all right. I think it's good that I'm the best at the tabletop version of the game. But yeah, when you're the underdog, and I'm rolling everything out in front of you guys, like, yeah, sure.
I don't have a problem with it. It's fine by me. I mean,
Sure, I want to win.
I was making a casual observation. I would look over and I'd see you, and you would be smiling, and then you roll the dice, and then you get a little chuckle in there, maybe just
You're relishing the moment.
a little chuckle can either mean something good's going to happen to you or something horrible. It's like and usually it's the latter.
Keeps it interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
We did have an unusual derailment I wanted to talk about in this campaign. I had wrote Richard Pett, and in the Skinsaw Murders, um, the module is half written around a particular PC in the group who had encountered another NPC, and this NPC's name was Aldrin Foxglove, and Aldrin he takes an interest in one of the PCs in the first module, and then he ends up being the villain in the second, and he's really focused on the NPC that he became obsessed with. Well, our particular derailment involved the PC died in between those
Yeah.
two modules. So I wrote Richard, and he advised me to have Aldrin do anything he can. Because he's a ghoul, to dig her up and bring her back to life as undead, and continue to court her, which I did, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
Especially like the player character whose former PC it was. They had direct combat, I believe. And so it was like he was fighting his own old character. um, anyway, that's all I wanted to share about it. I kind of feel the same way. Rise of the Rune Lords for 2 modules was pretty much a dungeon crawl.
There also wasn't really anything to look forward to in the module. It only went to 15th level or something like that.
I mean, that's pretty far.
No, that's not far enough.
So now we're going to go back into a homebrew world, which Kris had played in previously, and I'm going to try to do some videos on the homebrew world itself, because I'm going to try to broadcast some game sessions, I guess. And it would probably help if you guys knew what the hell we were talking about.
Well, then you're going to have to release like a series of videos.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I'm going to have to release a series
the
of
history
videos.
of the Aeluqygwen 1 through 5.
Whatever it is, yeah. But there is one thing I wanted to know is like, have any of you out there gone into an old homebrew world that you had and revisited it many times and continued along the same storyline? I know Brady has, and I would love to hear about that, Brady. But I was wondering if anybody else has ever done that, continuously gone back into a campaign world that they have written and continue the storyline on through different characters. What I tend to do is I tend to tie campaigns no matter what game it is. For the most part, I didn't do that this time, but I try to combine them somewhere in the cosmos of the multiverse throughout time.
Yeah, you do that. I like that. That's a nice touch.
And another thing I was wondering is, like, if you have like played one of your homebrew worlds multiple times, it's been several years since we played this world.
Yeah, it's been about 3 years, right?
More than that, dude.
4.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right, 4. And since then, since I originally wrote it, and now my tastes have changed a lot. Like, and so I'm wondering how much of the old campaign setting have you guys tinkered with and changed at all, or should you change any of it? What do you think?
What I'm happy about, like I've said in the previous video before, I'm like with your evolution and using miniatures and terrain and the board game aspect of it is going to make this campaign great. I think
because we'll have the role
it has the great story that we're familiar with already. That the storylines, like we know the history of the world. We're like kind of where some I mean metagaming wise we know everything, but otherwise incorporating that with the terrain and everything like that is going to be really.
Yeah, I kind of have like a reputation on here as like some kind of like champion of minis or something on maps, but we haven't really been doing it that long.
Yeah, it's like
we just got really into it. That's all.
Once it's kind of got a little taste of it. And it's really cool. I mean, it doesn't take away from my mind's eye imagination of what I pictured stuff before when it was just all in there.
Some people say they're distracting, and like I almost try to make it distracting. I got a little world I'm trying to make in there. Like if there's a pitchfork in the scene, I want a little pitchfork. Whatever,
I mean, it helps me because it allows me. Now I can I'm seeing what everyone else is seeing. I mean, when we're all like sitting around the board and we're imagining like the game, or you got the rooms drawn out and the graph paper. I'm not dissing this at all. Trust me, because I mean I've been playing for a long time and I like it. But now when I'm fighting a knoll and there's like a cart in the way, and there's another guy who's fighting him too. We can only be in so many spots. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when it's abstraction in your mind and you're saying I'm standing here and he's fighting him and then he's now like, at least with the minis and the terrain.
Everybody has a different idea.
We all know. I mean, we can still imagine it like the way we want it to and like that, our own fantasy land. But like at the same time, we know where we are and it allows for that the game mechanic to be a lot smoother and to get through and there's a lot less ambiguity. It's just right there.
Now you had mentioned to me that one of your favorite sessions was in the back of my car at one point.
Oh yeah, we played. Yeah, that was great. It was when we played in the back of his car one day in the parking lot of. Oh God, wherever.
CVS.
CVS or something in the parking lot in his car, like just.
Rolling dice. That was a Star Wars campaign.
It was fun.
That was we're on Dathomir.
Yeah.
Italian.
It was fun.
So I mean, we have experience of like absolutely no battle map and playing in our minds. I have more experience of playing in my mind than I do with battle maps. Actually, it's 20 some odd years. Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, just play your campaigns to 20th level, please.
I mean, that's hard to say. Every player wants to go to 20th level too. That's another thing. Another thing about the Aeluqygwen is that, and I'm going to introduce some blasphemy here. I'm about to get blasted for this, but I came up with this. We've been playing D20 for a while, and power game and D20 kind of go together. I don't know if anybody just picked that up. Really. I mean, not to say that you should do power gaming over RP or anything like that.
You can do both.
You can do both, sure. I mean, a good role player is going to come up with a reason to play anyway.
Yeah.
But so I had this idea of like power game mastering.
No.
So I would write these really overpowered NPCs for them to fight, and I don't know. I guess I'd encourage you guys to.
To what, min-max?
Yeah.
And yeah.
And another weird thing about the world is I pigeonhole people a lot too. Like, I kind of like was trying to force people to like role play by like pigeonholing them in things and like, which is bad. And a lot of people are gonna bitch. I know my group though. I know what I'm doing. I've known these guys for years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get that Aeluqygwen series on there, and let's see what you guys hear about power game mastering. It's pretty much accepted that this campaign will be.
Oh yeah. OP.
Yeah, OP'd.
OP'd campaign. Definitely.
But I will start to say some things.
But
about
the
it.
enemies, it's OP'd in general. You're OP'd, we're OP'd.
Sure, so it's a scale.
It still balances
scale.
out. You're just doing it. It's just more grandiose.
I mean, granted, I'm not going to take like a demon to make a fiend of possession and throw the moon at you. Or
I know. Yeah, we know no puns.
Not broken stuff.
Yeah.
But when I originally wrote the world, I was thinking of like when I was a little kid, and the fun that I had as a little kid, and like we had like taken over like kingdoms and you know taken over parts of the map and renamed them and gone to war with other kingdoms. So I kind of like we were overpowered then, so I kind of like wrote it like as if in the frame of a 12-year-old, I guess. And I guess we'll go in more detail about that another time. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be back with another video soon.